Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Ursa and today you'll find me about to attempt a rather interesting challenge against two magnificent content creators, the Twitch streamer 100 Games 100 Days and YouTuber Inquisitive Otter. I was sent out on my way to make a map we could all play, and we'd return a few weeks later with our attempts. So here is the challenge game in question. It is a 4-player, 8 city-state, continents and islands map with legendary start positions and low sea level. I haven't picked the civs or the city-states at all, so that is all totally randomized. How many victory types can you get by turn 200? So when you press end turn on turn 200, how many victories have you obtained? The winner has the most. Sounds simple, right? Well, maybe not so much. The problem I've got is that I specialise in Civ 6 at what I like to call flash runs. Now, if you're familiar with rock climbing, you'll understand the general idea about flash climbing is somebody will go along to a particular route, a cliff, a climbing wall, whatever it might be, and they'll look at it, do it once, and then move on. That's what I do with Civ. I like loading random games going, I wonder what this strategy is, I'll play it, and then I'll move on. I don't sit on the same map, I don't reload turns, I don't do anything like that. I am very much a make it up on the whim of whatever I'm feeling, and I specialise in that. I'm very, very good at that. Maybe I should be doing more multiplayer. That could be something I'd be naturally quite good at, maybe. Problem is, that style of play doesn't tend to lend well to sub 200 turn victories. So, could I guarantee that I get a science victory by turn 200? Well, the answer is very much no. I doubt myself royally. Could I even legitimately get a diplomatic victory by turn 200 as well? I don't even know. I have no idea. What we're going to need is a plan. I'm going to need to play this multiple times to absolutely optimize this game as best I can. Now, before anybody gets worried, we all did this. Everyone taking part in this challenge played the game at least a handful of times. I am no exception. I know exactly where everything is on this map. I know, for instance, that the start, as you can see, has the cliffs of Dover. I know that Zanzibar is just above here. We have Kuguna. We have Amar, hidden behind Mount Roraima, so there's a lot going on this little continent. And I also know that I share it with Scythia. Now, having Scythia as any close companion on a continent, the continent islands maps are a little bit like this, because basically there are two continents, one with, and I can tell you now, Portugal and the Incans on it, and the other with me and Scythia. We share room. The continent is pretty big, we're not squeezed, but I tried a few times early warring Scythia. You'll have seen that recently I did a playthrough where I practiced early war with the Congo. There are multiple city-states, and with an Armani start, you can very, very easily stick her in a city-state, levy an army, and go to war with Scythia. By the time I managed to do this, I think I managed to do it like I shaved 20 turns or something off my best. Like, I was doing really, really well. She has archers, she has 5 cities, and starts to spam units beyond 300 to 350. Early game Scythia on this map is a nightmare. That strategy didn't work well, so I need a little bit of a different plan. What are we going to do? How many victory types could we go for? I need to go narrow enough that I can guarantee that I get my victories, but not narrow to the point where I'm not going to win this challenge. I want to get as many as I can. Now, looking at this, 2 of them immediately strike me as easy. Religious victory. Can I get a religious victory by turn 200? You bet I can. I am a master at religious victory, he says, absolutely without any arrogance. But in seriously, I would back myself on that. If I go for an early religion, stick Crusade in it, get Feed the World, no one can stop me, right? I'm very good at that. I've already said the word Crusade. I think domination flows from that. England don't particularly have any aggressive tendencies, apart from the fact you get extra boats and a unique sea dog, and actually you do get a unique redcoat unit, which is very powerful. So I say that, they do have aggressive tendencies. We are, after all, playing the English Empire that spanned about 40% of the globe at one point. So yeah, no, fair enough, we're pretty nasty. What I mean to say is that we don't get any combat bonuses per se, so a Crusade bonus will work well. So domination and religious victory I should be able to obtain. That's 2 victories by turn 200, and that's what we're going to be focused on. I'm going to play religious using what I call the Ursa nip it in the bud strategy. Step 1, we get a religion really, really quickly. I get Feed the World. If you look at the start, we have absolutely no fresh water at all. We are on the coast. This is a very typical England start. We have the Cliffs of Dover start. I rolled this and I was like, what a perfect Cliffs of Dover with England start. How cool is that? It's not as cool as you think. You can't settle on it, which is a real pain, and there is no fresh water here, so we're going to have to get coastal water. So Feed the World will help me to get the housing I need. Combine that with early game granaries and my Royal Navy dockyards with some fishy fishes, we should be fine. What I then do is, after I get my religion, hopefully combining this with a golden age and the exodus of the evangelists, where you get lots and lots and lots of religion spreading, what I should be able to do is wait for people to start getting religions themselves. This is a tiny map, so only 3 religions will get put down, mine and 2 others. Now, in practice, Portugal was the first one to do it. You wait until you see profit points starting to appear, you spam missionaries, and you go whoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, and you sit the missionaries in Portugal's land, and you do not convert them. The trick is waiting, and as soon as they pop down their religion, you have at least 2 missionaries stood by the holy city, and 1 by any other city with a holy site, because don't forget, all holy site cities they own will gain that religion. And then in 1 turn of clinical evangelizing, you remove their religion from the game, and then you wait a second time until the 3rd religion pops out. Again, Scythia did it. Last time I did practice, and then you do the same thing. Domination wise, again, early war with Scythia didn't work for me very well. I had more luck doing a naval rush with Vicky. Of course, a galley rush always sounds good. With Crusade, galleys attack at a whopping 40 melee strength. So if you can nip in and get it before walls, that can be really, really good. And once you've taken 1 city, you can then use gold, which, you know, we're playing Vicky. We have Royal Navy dockyards. We have a lot of gold. You can spam things like swordsmen, battering rams, all the good stuff that makes those cities fall quickly. Portugal was my first target. We'll see if that works out again this time. Scythia is going to be last. Once we've got redcoats, now unfortunately redcoats only get the +10 combat strength bonus when fighting on another continent, so I won't get it against Scythia, but there's still 70 strength. Like, that is powerful enough. That's really, really good. The other slightly weird thing about this start is that I wanted a Dark Age beginning so that I could use my holy sites to boost my science. Alas, that is very unlikely to happen. I already have 3 era score. I'm going to move to the right in order to settle just off the side of the Cliffs of Dover, but once I settle, I'll get another 3 era score. That'll already put me on 6 out of 11. Getting through 40 turns, only getting 4 era score. I practiced it, it's nigh on impossible, and it limits me so much that it's not worth it. So we're going to have to take either a normal or a golden age, depending on what we can get. There is the era score, 6 era score, there is London. Good thing about Cliffs of Dover, amazing culture starts. We will rush through our early game policies super quickly. Bad thing about the Cliffs of Dover, I have no production whatsoever, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We're going to pick up astrology first. I want this tile there to be a holy site. Look at it, +4. Oh, it's gorgeous. In fact, what I was going to do was stick a city there, stick another holy site on that tile, and then go for a delicious government plaza. That gives me +6, +4. That should be plenty. Getting to this point, though, is going to be a little bit tough. Barbs normally spawn to the right of me. I've tried a scout start. Oh, look at that graphical glitch. That was a bit weird. The square, the rectangle of death. I've tried a scout. There isn't really much to scout. So what I'm going to do is go for a slinger. Just acts a little bit more defense against the barbarians. There is a tribal hut that appears just to the north of me. What I'm trying not to do is I'm not doing so much RNG re-rolling that tribal villages give me exactly what I want. I'm just letting it happen as it happens. So it gave me the archery boost. All of my reruns, it seems to always give me archery boost. I don't actually know at what point the tribal villages reload what they're going to give you. Bit weird that. So my capital only has 3 production. Once I get the holy site down, I'm going to be getting +4 faith per turn. So I will wait 8 turns, roughly, then 4 turns, which is 12 turns to get a Pantheon, plus however many turns it takes me to build it, maybe 22 turns or so. So it really was 50-50 as to whether or not urban planning or God King was the better option for me here. In the end, I still think God King is the way to go. I still think it's the way to go. So we will do that, and we'll get discipline to make sure that I can look at the rest of the continent as I want. Zanzibar gives me another +2 gold in my capital. We're up to +11 already. Now I'm going to be absolutely making sure we get the most out of this game. Every Eureka and inspiration we could get, we're going to be running. So lots of making sure that I only load as many turns as I need to get to 60% and then switching. And here is Scythia. Already they are a plague upon this continent. They already have 2 cities. They will have 5 before you know it. And in experience, they will get 9 to 10 cities out on this continent. I'm going to let them. I'm going to let them spread around and do what they want to do. Typically, Scythia goes very heavy on military, spreads, and then gets all peaceful later into the game. So I'll just take the cities over slightly later. That's my plan anyway. You can see already, London is now working both tiles of the Cliffs of Dover. That is now 7.5 culture we're getting in per turn. Scythia also only likes me -3. So sending her a delegation will give me benefits later. I want to become friends with her as soon as possible. Kaguna has been met by Scythia first of all. They want a trade route, so actually both want trade routes. Not bad for England actually, so we might be able to make friends with both of them pretty soon. We're also now switching to craftsmanship. Okay, foreign trade. It's unlikely we're actually going to find any other continent too soon. You never know. You never know. So here is Roriyama. You can actually see Armagh is right behind it, but there is a perfect Roriyama mountain wall down the side of the continent. That means I can't actually go round to meet Armagh. It's the strangest thing. Scythia will end up settling near Roriyama as well, so there's nothing we can do to really rush that one particularly. But you can see timed to perfection. Astrology now has been boosted. It's all really good. What I'm also going to do now is move my slinger. Yeah, what I mean is that astrology and my slinger were built on the same turn, so that's good. I'm going to move. We can get sailing. Sailing is really, really good and lets me get a boat off really quickly to go and explore and meet the rest of the world. So I kind of want to do that as soon as I can. Get the holy site down. It says 19 turns, but what I'm going to do is make sure that we're working this production tile. Is it worth making sure that I can buy this tile in to get another 2 production to get my holy site in? In practice, yes. I like to do that. So we'll work both of these tiles. As London grows, we'll start to work the Cliffs of Dover again. There's no point rushing foreign trade though, because I don't want to just be boosting past this point. We're gonna just take our time on that. I'll pick up mining first, just in case I want to improve that stone. That would be an extra production for myself, and that would help. Also, sending galleys out beginning of this game tends not to work well. There's a couple of barb encampments that spawn that's just absolutely chuck out galleys, and they can be quite nasty. Here's the barb camp. Now, will the spearmen cross? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and just move my unit round to try and sneak through and steal the encampment before the spearmen can get back. It's quite tricky to pull off, but sometimes I can get lucky. Yep, in this case, look at that. They're going to attack me rather than going back, and I can just sneak around. As predicted, the spearmen attacks me across the river, and I can go and nab the encampment. That's another 2 era score, and now we just need to get to 24. Whether I can do that or not is another question. Both foreign trade and craftsmanship have kind of boosted to the same level now, so what I pick up out of these 2 is difficult 50-50, but I'm more likely to improve 3 tiles. So at this moment, I think I'm going to pick up foreign trade. It allows me mysticism, which lets me get an envoy, and it also allows me to get maritime industries. So we're going to stick on foreign trade for now. Inside this little triple hut is wheel. And now that we've got mining, I think the next best thing to do is we could go for bronze working to see where iron is. That's quite a good one, but I like animal husbandry so we can lock horses. Now for the life of me, I don't actually remember where the horses are. I think they're down here, but I might be wrong. Is it worth it? Sailing would be the other thing to go and consider. It's all a bit 50-50 at the moment. The other thing I could do is go towards celestial navigation to improve TC resources. So we're going to go sailing for now. I think that's the better option for me. Galleys are good. Galleys give me era score. They give me pride. They make me English. There's a lot of good in them. Now the slinger is being pegged in, unfortunately. That's no fun. I tried experimenting with getting this slinger out, but in order to get the tribal hut, well, the barb encampment, it was difficult to make them survive. I'm going to just try and move to this tile in the hope the spearman doesn't follow me, but it's a slim chance. Next up, getting a second city out is going to be a good idea, because already I can see that this city would have a good old Royal Navy dockyard, as well as having this holy site that is possible to build. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. So we'll get the settler sorted. I do intend on going for Feed the World, but at the moment there's no rush on profits, because in training on this map, the AI did not really throw very many points at great profits very quickly at all. Oh, the spearman didn't follow me. That's interesting. We'll heal for a turn or two and see if we can survive. I've now got a Pantheon, so we're going to put urban planning away, and I'm going to keep discipline until I make boats. Boats are quite useful. In terms of Pantheon, the settler is gone, but I have options. I can either pick up Divine Spark, which lets me get another profit point. That would help me get Feed the World quicker. I can pick up Earth Goddess. Now that would give me extra faith from my high appeal tiles, which, hint hint, is 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, so that's plus 4 faith per turn. That'll come in slightly handier later into the game, but really, I'm not entirely sure I want a game where I'm managing appeal too heavily, so that's not the best idea. I haven't got a huge amount of marsh anywhere, so that's not particularly useful. So a 3 builder or Divine Spark. Those are the two I'm kind of playing off at the moment. I think I'm going to end up going for the 3 builder. I get a little bit of extra growth in my cities, which is nice, and it means I can pop down a quarry, get the boost, chop the forest, put a mine down. I think that's good. I think that is good. This tribal village right at the top of the map has given me a recon unit. Exciting, but there's not much I can do with it for now. There's really not a huge amount to explore, so I'm going to send them, well, unfortunately I can't even send them up this way. There is a mountain barrier that stops me getting through, so I'll send it to the north in the hope that I can find something fun, but there we go. Scythia also offers me friendship because I'm playing nice with city-states. So, you know, there we go. So peace has pretty much now been assured on my continent. It also means I've got a really, really good person to trade with later into the game. Masonry is boosted, which now pretty much means that I can unlock this tile, let myself work the extra gold and culture to get the settler purchased or even a shrine purchased, which is good. And I don't lose too much production because I've got the +1 there. In fact, my scout is actually just going to stay in this relatively close area to the coffee just to make sure that our settler doesn't go astray. A delegation from Scythia gives my money back, puts me onto 256 when I roll to turn 29. We could buy a monument in at this point, but I'm waiting for a shrine. A nice 3-slinger kill that Scythia has been taking out, and we are getting closer to getting the bronze working boost. If I can get that, that'll let me discover iron much quicker than I would normally be able to in a regular game. See what I mean about Harami? She's already up to 245. Even if I'd gone for a 5 or 6 or 7 warrior Kaguna rush, in practice the loyalty is so bad up here and she's got so many archers by this point in the game, it just didn't work. I'm glad I didn't go for that strategy actually. Let's pick up a farm here. It's not a great tile, realistically, except it does give me a little bit more housing, and as you just saw, it boosts irrigation for me. I'm also going to now pick up early empire, and we can just wait for my gold to run out in a second. As we get the shrine, we can get this settler out and we can get that second city. I told you, Scythia moves quickly across the continent, and that is already a Mount Roriama settle. Very, very difficult. But yes, sailing is going to be the next thing. So maritime industries, I will put that card in so that I can get my first boats on the water. As discussed, here is the shrine. Why do I want the shrine down? Well, I'm going to go feed the world, which is a really important card for me to take. The shrine will give me 3 food and 2 housing, which will help London to grow. Yeah, it's generally a very good play. Gets my religion quicker as well, so that's handy. Now I've done that, I'm going to just force in this extra production tile again. I don't need quite as much gold or culture now that I've got the shrine up and running. I will pick up pottery though. The granary is a relatively important building. Not the most important, but relatively important. The spearman was waiting there. Somehow my slinger has survived. That's the most exciting thing that's happened in this game so far. Yeah, look, they attacked me. That did 45 damage. I'm going to take the promotion now, give myself volley, heal back up, and then we'll see if we can get the kill. Now that my settler is finished, my biggest challenge is trying to work out what on earth I'm going to do in order to get the era score. I need 8 era score, and I'm going to get 2 of that from putting a boat into the sea. Other than that, it's quite difficult actually. It is quite difficult. I can make Zanzibar a suzerain, which would be cool because I can send 1 envoy to them and get a trader with them, and Armani could help with that as well. I think first of all we're going to get a trader up and running. That's not a bad little move for me there. I'll rush that through. I'm going to settle, and I've got a builder to come out and immediately put pearls down, which will help as well. I did get the bronze working boost, by the way. I did it. Been moving over in this direction because, again, this is one of the things about playing the map so often, Fez is just there. Now Fez is going to be super important because Fez gives you science for every time you convert a city using a missionary. I'm going to hopefully be doing a lot of that, and I'm going to use it to boost through some early game techs. in order to basically get to sea as quickly as possible. There it is. Told you. Now, which order do I do it? Do I pick up Fez or do I pick up Zanzibar first? If I stick Omani in, then I could basically choose between the two. Well, Fez wants an inspiration for craftsmanship, so that's why I'm kind of waiting on this one. So I can get an extra envoy and put Omani in this city. If I put my envoy in Zanzibar, then I can put the trader across in order to get the 3. So yeah, the envoy is going to have to go to Zanzibar. I'm just going to wait for a second because I don't want to necessarily, you know, rush that and get it wrong. Here's my second city, Sheffield today. And you can see we've already just picked up a luxury here. Now that luxury is selling for 10 gold per turn currently. So I'm going to immediately take that 214 gold up front. There's no point in me having slightly happier cities at this point. I'd rather take the 10% yield penalty and have the gold to do what I want with it. Otherwise, it's all about building up my economy as quickly as I can get away with. So that's a really good second tile. I'm going to put a builder in this city to start with. Get that up and running. In fact, actually, did I want to get a builder? Is that the best thing to do? I've got maritime industries, so I could get a galley out in 8 turns and leave my capital 3 to build the infrastructure up a bit more. Let's do that. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that. At any rate, here we go. Zanzibar. There's the envoy. Gets another 3 gold per turn. Stick another envoy in like such, and hey presto, Zanzibar has the extra stuff. You can see the map. This is what I was talking about. Couldn't get around this little mountain range. Between Roriyama and the mountains, very difficult to sneak through. Picking this up to 55 gold, I can immediately put the pearls down, which gives me craftsmanship. Now we have the opportunity to go for state workforce. I think a good way of getting era score will be to put a holy site prayers down. So that's what I'm probably going to now focus on doing. I've got holy site prayers, 5 turns to make that work. We can rush it through nice and quick, get our religion up and running, get some era score that way. Savia also will sell my pearls for 180. That's good. My cities are now happier because of Zanzibar. I don't need to be ecstatic this early in the game, but Zanzibar gives 2 copies of a luxury to the first 6 cities you have. It's amazing. I do need my capital to be as good as possible though, so there's a granary. We're now growing again. The first time in a long time, we're now growing. Now I believe from memory there is iron underneath this holy site tile. I totally did that by accident first time round, but if we go for iron, we can pick that up and start selling it off for even more money. So it's whether or not that extra gold is worth doing or whether we rush Celestial Navigation to get the Royal Navy dockyards up and running. Quite like the trade routes, I quite like the housing. So I think we're going to go Celestial Navigation for now. Ancient Era in 10 turns. Okay, we need to just keep an eye on that. I want, ideally, to get myself into a position where I can just guarantee that golden age. 8 turns left, and that's the first holy site prayers that has been put down. Okay, cool. So I'm getting 2 points per turn at the moment. That means we will get this in 7 turns. I have 8 turns left. In theory, we should be able to do this. If I get 1 more holy site prayers going, I'll be able to guarantee that I get it in time. It's just about whether or not I think, let's just think about this, I'll be able to pop it and then use him on the same turn. So I think that works perfectly. So what I'll do instead is get a builder running. That way I can get my second sea resource and put down the Royal Navy dockyard as quick as possible. Here is my first boat, by the way. It is not the world's first boat, but it is a boat. So that's what matters. You know, I'm actually going to keep that tile for now. I like my capital's doing too much with it, and I'm going to stick a lumberyard on it when I can. Let's get the Holy Site District on this tile. Let's get it going nice and quick so that we can level up. There's my governor as well. We're going to put her in Fez, where is Amani, and she will be finished before we get to the next era. So we've still got 4 era score to get. It's going to be very tight. Unfortunately, we mistimed the profit by 1 turn, which is a bit of a pain. So I am going to have to use some gold to get my profit a turn before. It's a little bit of an inefficiency that, but I don't think it's going to be too bad for us. There's a city-state here. I think it's Cahokia from memory. I've also found a new continent. Yes, it is. Did I meet them first? No, Portugal tends to meet them first, but they want a galley. That's really easy to do. Now, there's a chance I can sometimes slip through and meet Portugal before the era runs out, but it is only 5 turns, so that is quite tricky to do. There's our Mar. Anyway, recruit a great admiral. I will do that very quickly, don't worry. And get a fleet. He's a really, really good one to get. A fleet of galleys can be an incredibly explosive force at the beginning of the game. Explosive is probably not the word I was looking for there, but it'll do. I realise I'm on early empire. Oh, I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, that was a few turns of wasted culture. We're going to have to go back a few turns and undo that one. Yeah, I told you I'm taking this seriously. So we went back and we undid it, and now we've got that early empire right where we wanted it, because we're just about to get our 6th population this turn. Now, our pearls is about to get pillaged. That's not a bad thing, because we've already sold the pillage. Oh, that's a total misclick. Whoopsie. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, this is right where we wanted it to go. I think we should be okay. Just still keeping an eye out for the profit. We have 3 turns, so I need to buy the profit next turn. There is early empire. Good, 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 good. Oh, it feels like a lot of gold to be throwing away, but for the golden age, I think it's worth it. Now, I don't remember how much is the thirst religion. Is it 3 or is it 4? First religion to adopt all beliefs. It's not what I'm doing, really. World's first religion is 3 era score. Okay, so we need to generate, ideally, 1 more era score if we can. There's Fez. So Armani is in Fez. If I use a missionary at this point now, we can convert for science. It's really, really handy. So there we go. Let's get the profit. There's Simon Peter. We can get our religion next turn. Well, of course, a great person recruited. That's why I thought it was 4. It's because by getting the great person, we get an extra point. There we go. Right, religion time. Feed the world already set up. I believe that the extra food and the housing will lead to much better cities overall than going for work ethic. Work ethic is another alternative, and that would let me crank boats out at the beginning of the game. Effectively, it would give me about 16 extra production towards boats, but I think Feed the World is going to be better because it lets me put another district down really quickly. That'll be worth 6 food and 4 housing down the line. And even saying that though, it's going to be a tough one, because that will be, once I put the government plaza down, that's going to be even better. It's a very difficult choice. I want to focus on getting the religion out, so no, I'm going to go with my gut, and we're going to go Feed the World. Crusade is what we're going to pick up, but for now, we're going to pick up something that's going to benefit us right from the offset, and that is going to be Teeth. They'll give me immediate gold for every city following, and I'm going to spread that around nice and quick, and I can use that early game gold to get myself some very, very tasty settlers, scientists, all the good stuff really, all of the fun stuff. Next up is governor titles. What do I want to get? Something ideally that helps me with religion and war. If there's a chance, if there's an absolute small, slim chance of me getting a science victory this game, it's going to be Moksha aided, using my faith to get out Divine Architect and put the spaceports down. I think it's going to be very, very slim chances though of me getting that one. I could also attempt the same with Reina, which wouldn't be too bad an idea. Acquire new tiles faster in my capital. 3 gold per turn for each foreign trade route passing through the city. That's unlikely to get me anything. Harbour Master would get me a little bit of a better dock though, and Forestry Management helps me a bit of gold. Tax Collector helps me a bit of gold. I find she is superseded by Pingala, so we're going to go Pingala, and then I think I might go Moksha. After that point, we'll work on it. It'll be fine. I'm actually just going to sit my galley still for a turn. I don't need to meet Portugal right this moment. Let's go for governments as well. I love the fact that we've got a golden age perfectly. Like, that is an absolute perfect choice for us there. So, make dedication. 3 inquiry turns my Royal Naval Dockyards into science. It's really good. Pen Russian Voice gives me extra culture. Again, really good. Monumentality lets me spread out. Exodus of Evangelists. This gives me extra movement and extra charges on my missionaries. Trust me, it's all about early war. We want to get these out as quickly as possible. Here is my first missionary. It has 5 charges. We're going to go and convert my own city for 40 science, and then Zanzibar for 100 science. I can spread it to city-states without a problem. That's absolutely fine. Otherwise, what we're going to start to do is, again, wait on the old profit points and see who blinks first. Who is going to make the first great profit for me to consume? Greedy little Ryan. 6 movement missionaries. They're so good. So good. Celestial Navigation, I'm just going to hold off from for a second. Shipbuilding gives us quadroons, which allows all my land units to embark. That'll help me with a bit of a war, and it also allows me to boost towards cartography to get caravels. I do want to do that as soon as I can, but we're going to pick up the basics first. Let's go bronze working, because then we can pick up iron. And with, I think it's like, how much do I even need for this? 30 science to get bronze working. So, bam, Fez gives us bronze working outright. And as mentioned, yep, it's underneath the holy site. It's a good thing about playing the map repeatedly is you know exactly where things are. I think iron wires, some by Zanzibar, some up here as well. If I can go and settle up in this area, I will do. I'm also going to pick irrigation up soon because I quite like getting this coffee. There's also some sugar over to the south that I need, as well as some incense. Lots and lots of things for me to go and pick up if I can get them. This is what I'm talking about. Scythia now wants to buy my things for considerable amounts of gold. I need to save up about 440 for my next settler. It's going to be quite expensive, but it'll be worth it. And here's Portugal. Nice to meet you, Portugal. I would like to be friends generally, but I'm not going to stress about being best friends. Like, I don't need that. I don't want to make it formal because I want to be able to attack them where possible. Now, taking a luxury from them, in fact, actually there's 2 luxuries I could buy for 41 and 33 gold. That would give me 70 gold expenditure to get Sheffield happy and London happy. So I think that's worth it. We're going to do it. Always pay the gold up front, you end up paying less overall. In fact, actually, just quickly sell my diplomatic favour. Oh, look, and Portugal is actually going to buy that for more money. So, Portugal, I'm going to just fleece them for money. That's good. And then we'll go for marble. Perfect. And while I'm at it, trade, open borders. Give me gold for that, please. Oh, no, just a straight open borders. That's fine. And we're going to go and find the Incans and get the Iriscourt for doing that as well. Inca. Now, Inca are the science leaders, and they normally do very well on any game. They do have a quite good start this time round. And as you can see, they already are on 57 science per turn. It's relatively scary, but it doesn't stop me getting a government. Now, Classical Republic, Classical Republic. We're going to make friends with everybody by taking Classical Republic, so there's no harm in that. I'm just going to save military tradition. I managed to get it onto pretty, well, it actually has an overflow of culture, unbelievably. We're going to leave it like that because I can just pop it on quickly and change my government if ever I need to down the line. Now, oligarchy is really good, but Classical Republic right now gives me a little bit more housing and another amenity, so we'll go with it for now. Maritime industries, colonization, urban planning. It's the combo that we all know and love. First envoy counts as 2. That will help me to get Cahokia along if the Incans let it go, and Armagh would be a good pickup as well. But speaking of, London only has 1 improvement that gives half a housing, so this is going to be the city that gets the fishing boats, and Celestial Navigation is boosted. We can now build our Royal Navy dockyard ASAP. You can see Porto has walls up, but Lisbon does not. Now that is really handy. There's 13 population in Portugal's civilization, and I can see 7 of it already. So landing on Lisbon would be a very effective thing. I'm going to go for quite an early boat rush, and we're going to start spreading our religion over there as quick as we can. That'll allow us a crusade-aided, joyous attack of plenty. So, shipbuilding. We're going to rush it. We're going to rush it as quickly as we can to unlock caravels as quickly as we can. 100 science, by the way. How much do we even need for this tech? 121. So this will take up most of shipbuilding. Bam. Yeah, Fez. Fez is fun. This is a lot of fun. Next we go to Kaguna. So shipbuilding is done already. Now in order to go for cartography we need 5 techs, and writing is the next one. Unfortunately this is just a 2 population city, so it won't be the best conversion, but it would be 43 science, and I'd be a fool to not take it because I'd get the extra teeth ability. So bam, writing's done, and I get another 3 gold per turn. Also just met Buenos Aires, who are not favoured by anybody right now, so they'd be a good option for another city-state to take over. Say I were to go to war with Portugal. Not that I'd ever do that. So Ivy, stay on side, please. I need you to remain on side for pretty much the entirety of the first part of the game. Now, Sheffield has just got itself a holy site, so there's the shrine. That'll help the city to grow. So I have a galley just waiting around. That's all very well and good, but what I need is more. I need more boats. Quadriremes are 120 production as opposed to 65 production, so galley spam is where it's at. That's what we're going to do to get into Lisbon. Another boost of science, and boom, currency is done as well. Mathematics, build 3 different specialty districts. 3 different, eh? I can probably do that if I'm lucky. Mitla. What did Mittler do? Campus gives growth. Again, pretty good. If you're left alone on a map, that can be always very good fun. Now, rainforest. Do I chop the rainforest down to get Sheffield boosted? Yes, because I want to build this district as quickly as I can, actually, in order to get my mathematics boost. So let's do that. 3 turns until it can build it now. That actually worked out really well. There's the plantation. I now have some coffee. Is it worth keeping it, or shall I sell it? What's the price at the moment? A lot. The price is a lot. I will take the gold. Always worth taking the gold if you can. Royal Navy Dockyard. Always worth building because it gives you a free galley. I could wait until we had caravels, but I don't think it's worth it. I've got my settler also to go and settle up here. There's a nice source of iron. I've got a lovely coffee. I've got a reef that I could be working soon and a nice space for a Royal Navy Dockyard as well. So lots of good, fun things. There's the Great Barrier Reef, and you can see the beginnings of Incan cities down on that coast. Drama and poetry is nice. I'm going to pick up conscription quickly because I'm not building boats right now. I'm going to do something else. Settlers, I am still building every now and then, but really, I think extra trade route gold would be good. Let's do that for now. It's a small bonus, but it is a good bonus. Here's my first missionary. That's lovely. If I can quickly pick up theology, I can get myself temples. That'll let my cities grow even quicker. Although actually, I do need to unlock military tradition so I can get flanking on my boats. Boat flanking is always good fun. Now, Government Plaza. Yep, here we go. The mathematics boost should be pretty timely, actually. So we'll do that. Let's get the Government Plaza. A bit more faith per turn. Lets me spam those missionaries out a lot faster. I've got the first one out now. He's going to make his way over to Lisbon and convert it. There we go. Bit of a flanking bonus now. 1 attacker, 2 attacker, 3 attacker. And we can start training my galleys up to give them the nice +7 against other naval units bonus. That is normally a pretty handy thing. 7 brothers. Okay. Serbia getting closer and closer and closer. They're probably going to tell me off for settling near them in a second, which will be ironic seeing as they're coming way closer to me. But I'm just ready. I'm ready for that sort of annoying message. New population. Oh, in Sheffield. That worked lovely. Perfect stuff. Okay, that's great. The Royal Navy Dockyard was no accident. I know. It was no accident. It was just glorious. There's scripture. Scripture means my missionaries are even better than once they were. Lovely. Let's get maritime industries sorted again. I'd quite like more boats. Always more boats, and I'm going to get urban planning back. I'm just moving all of my policies around at the speed of light, never settling on anything. This is typically the way I like to play. Chaotic. Chaotic is the way. So first of all, I need to build a temple. That's another 3 food and 4 faith. That's really cool. It helps my capital grow even more than it currently is. And I'll pick up another boat as well. I now want to beeline towards mercenaries so that I can upgrade my units a bit quicker. That'll be quite nice when that happens. And I think I might put a canal city down in this area. In fact, actually, is that worth doing before I settle there? Oh, suddenly that is an interesting question. If I put a canal city down, then I would be able to heal my units quickly and send routes to Lisbon fast. So yeah, actually, I've changed my mind. We're going to do that soon rather than settling over here. I think Scythia will end up doing it and we'll end up taking the cities from Scythia anyway. So not too bad, really. Boosted mathematics. That's looking great. Buttress, I'm not going to be able to boost, but cartography I will by building 2 harbours. That's something that I will build very quickly. Yep, so Buttress needs 360 science. Well, Lisbon will give me 120 just for converting the city, so that works really nicely. And get a second missionary as well. Keeping an eye out for if anybody is going to start a religion, but I haven't seen any signs of it just yet, so that's fine. Now, Pingala, now, this is the thing. Fez is giving me a lot more at the moment, so what I might do is just keep my governor for Moksha. I'll put him in Sheffield for now, but then it'll go in my canal city just to keep it happy. First boost. Bump. Tribal Hut gives me defensive tactics. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 galleys around right now. 6. Do I need more? Is it worth getting more, or do I start to get the infrastructure up a little bit now? To that I say more. More. Always more. We need more boats. Buenos Aires makes my bonus resources behave like luxuries, which is awesome. And I can go bump like so. You can see that Portugal have a bunch, actually. 1, 2, 3. unguarded cities on the coast. Lovely stuff. Oh, and they've just gone to 7 pop as well in Lisbon. That's kind of you. Thank you. Go on, give it to me. Give me the boost. Boom. Oh, yes. Reformed Church boosted, and that was 140 science. Okay, this is going to be good. This should be fairly quick, actually. In fact, if we just do one more movement to there, and then another 3 pop boost as we get buttress. Oh, yeah, getting there. Here is one more temple as well in Sheffield this time. So my cities are now getting very, very big. I think I might be able to convert Braga in 1. Yes, I can. So bump, another 80 science. We're not far from buttress now at all. In fact, Sheffield is only 7 turns away from being able to get to 7 pop and building its own Royal Navy dockyard. Next trade route possibility. What are my available routes? Sheffield routes. Oh, they do way, way more for me. Way, way more. Any city-state need a trade route still? Armagh needs one. I think I saw another one. Mitla would quite like one as well. Kaguna would quite like one. Well, I think in either direction, Sheffield is the place to get this trade route from these days. So I will embrace that. God, gives me buttress. So we've moved into the medieval era now, and cartography, 56 turns. It's a big boost. It's a lot needed, but as you can see, I have the missionaries up now, and I am spreading to Portugal fast. Here we go. This is my ill-fated canal city of Bradford. Oh dear. That's not fair on the city. Well, there we go. It's actually on a new continent, so it gives me a new trade route and also a warrior. Now, had I thought about it, actually, I could have boosted that with ironworking. Is that an easy thing for me to be able to do? I wonder. I think it's always got to be a melee unit, hasn't it? Let's just double check. A 3 melee unit, yeah. So, could I have boosted that with ironworking? Oh, I could do that, and then I could send a swordsman over. I get a swordsman for 3. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back a few turns, and we're going to put Bradford down, and then get a swordsman instead. Yeah, that's really good. So here we go. Went back a few turns. I'm spreading to Lisbon. It's only 3 turns we had to go back to do this, and bam, there's ironworking. Now, that just means that when I spawn a new unit, it will be a swordsman rather than anything else. Now, I could just double this up and go for apprenticeship, but I don't know if that's worth doing. It would be 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I mean, it could be decent. And then when I settle, I'd get a man at arms. But I think it's worth just rushing caravels. I think swordsmen with Crusade are attacking at 45 strength already. I don't think I need to go too greedy, so we'll do that. I mean, he says too greedy. He says optimizing his run way more than he would normally do. I hope you're all proud of me. I am doing my best here. So it's 12 gold and 1 science to a route to Porto, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. Don't forget, as soon as I declare war on Portugal, that trade route will spring back to me, so there's no need to worry about it being lost. It should be okay. There is the settler, as discussed before. It's Plymouth today. This time it's Plymouth. It's weird how it changes, isn't it? But there we go. And swordsman has been spawned as well. So finally, we optimized that particular aspect of the strategy, and we can go from there. I'm going to get Royal Navy dockyard sorted, but I'm going to hopefully time this one so that I finish it as I unlock Caravel. That would be the ideal if we can do that. Second trade route as well. This one's to Lisbon. Just keep sending them through. It's all good. Right, buttress is a little bit later now, but Kasflush. There is it. There is it. That's definitely the way of saying that one. Cartography. Okay, we do need to get the Royal Navy dockyard sorted relatively quickly. I'm building the Warlord's Throne in Sheffield now. That's actually pretty good to get. It gives me another governor and lets me switch government. What I want is the classical Republic legacy card, but I want to be able to switch governments to oligarchy to give myself the +4 on naval combat strength. So it's 150, it's 3 chops. Yep, okay, I'm going to treat myself to a couple of builders in Sheffield and we should be fine. I wouldn't worry about my troops, Portugal. It's all good. We're all fine. I'm just hanging here with you. Yeah, this canal city is very handy. It's allowing me to move my troops around so much quicker. So much quicker. What I'm now also going to do is pick up an apostle. Now I need to put Crusade on my religion, but one trick that I've learnt is that you only need 3 spreads in order to evangelize your religion. So I can go and use the other 2 spreads on Scythia. or whoever really. So that's quite effective. I like it. It's good. Actually, this is a terrible set of events. Just moving the troops by Lisbon has caused them to start... Oh, they're starting to build the walls. Now that is a problem. That is a problem. I can't allow that to happen. We have to jump in quickly here. So I'm going to attempt to start the war now. We've lost out on a couple of these charges, but I believe this is the thing to do. So let's do it accordingly. We've got some gold going out to Portugal per turn at the moment, which sucks, but evangelize belief. Stick in Crusade. Done. Okay, now we have the Crusade bonus. This will make our attacks so much more effective. It will be ridiculous. Portugal are in a dark age, by the way, so we shouldn't have a problem seizing upon their land, I hope. Let's get the Warlord's Throne sorted quickly, like so. Done. So now when we take the city, we will get the extra production in all of my cities, which works really well. I just built myself a diplomatic quarter, by the way, just to make myself immune to spies in my capital, but also for the extra envoy. I've already taken Buenos Aires, as I mentioned before, but there are other options in the area around both of us. Like Mitla is a really good example. Send a trade route to them. We should be able to do that soon. But I can exactly take Portugal's money away from them with some diplomatic favour. I'm going to inevitably lose all that anyway, so that's fine. We have 500 gold, which will allow me to almost pick up this admiral, so I need to kind of keep an eye out for that one, but I think the war is now set up. I'm sorry, Portugal, the surprise war is not really surprising, is it? At all. I know loyalty is its own reward. I know. But hopefully Inca will join in. Yeah, they will. Oh, you feel like a sort of ally that is not very allied. There we go. Right, this galley comes in. This galley comes in. This galley comes in. My swordsman will also come in. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. That's half health already. We've got galley reinforcements. My swordsman is going to join in on the attack to guarantee that we take the city next turn. I'm also now going to send some other ones of my galleys up towards Braga, where hopefully we can start to launch similar attacks on this city. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Matthew Wilkinson, Salty Tech, Glorious Petra, Davalex, Dayboy91, Skeptical Bear, Paul Coffey, Kroger Brown Trail Mix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Portland, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Nim, Emir EC, Henry, Rom88, Radiature, and Private Selection Genoa Salami for all of your support. Thanks everybody!